You ever feel like you've just hit a wall? Like you're good at what you do, maybe even great, but you've kind of stopped getting better? Well, today we're going to dig into why that happens. We're talking about something called adaptive expertise, and it's the key to smashing through that performance plateau and reaching a whole new level of mastery. So let's just start with this big question. Are you wired for efficiency or for innovation? Think about it. Most of us, we kind of lean one way or the other. But here's the kicker. What if I told you that to be a true expert today, you have to be amazing at both? And that brings us to what you could call the expertise paradox. It's this weird but super common trap we all fall into. The very thing that makes you incredibly good and efficient at your job can actually be what's holding you back from future growth. So when does being good stop you from being great? Look, the reality is we all hit that plateau. It doesn't matter if you're a coder, a chef, an athlete. There's a point where just doing more of the same stuff doesn't move the needle. But here's the thing. That plateau isn't a dead end. It's actually a fork in the road, and it leads to two totally different kinds of expertise. Okay, so let's go down the first path, the one most of us know really well. This is the world of the routine expert. This is the master of the known, the person we all look at and admire because they're just so incredibly consistent and reliable. So what is routine expertise really? It's all about solving problems you've seen a million times before and doing it fast and doing it right. It comes from having these perfectly practiced procedures, like a mental checklist, that make you super efficient, as long as nothing unexpected happens. A perfect way to picture this is a classical concert pianist. You give them a piece of sheet music, no matter how complicated, and they will play it flawlessly. Every single note, perfect every single time. That right there is the absolute peak of routine expertise. But what happens when someone takes the sheet music away? Now let's jump over to the other side of that plateau and meet the other kind of master, the adaptive expert. This is the master of the new, the person who doesn't just survive when the plan changes. They actually come alive. So, adaptive expertise is the skill of not just using what you know, but being able to remix and modify it on the fly to tackle a problem you've never, ever seen before. It's not just about knowing the recipe, it's about understanding the science of cooking so you can invent a new dish with whatever ingredients you've got. Let's go back to our musician. Instead of the classical pianist, now picture a great jazz musician. There's no sheet music, you can just throw a few chords at them, and bam! They create a brilliant, totally original solo right there on the spot. They are adapting everything they know in real time. That is the soul of adaptation. Let's just put them right next to each other so you can see it clearly. The routine expert. Their focus is on efficiency. Their goal is to perfect what's happening right now. Their value is consistency. The adaptive expert, they're all about innovation. Their goal is to invent the future, and their value is flexibility. You can almost feel the pull between those two, can't you? So here's the million-dollar question, right? In our world where things change by the minute, how in the world do you build this adaptive muscle? How do you go from just being great at following the plan to being the one who can write a new one on the fly? Well, the good news is science has an answer, and it's based on decades of research into how the best of the best get so good. The path isn't just about repetition. It's a very specific method called deliberate practice. Now, I gotta be really clear about this. This is not the 10,000-hour rule. It's not about mindlessly putting in the time. Deliberate practice is structured. It is tough. It demands your full attention. And the only goal is to get better, not just to perform a skill you've already mastered. And it all works on this really powerful, simple loop. Step 1, you have to push your limits. You have to try things that are just a little too hard for you right now. Step 2, you need to get instant feedback. You have to know right away what worked and what didn't. And finally, step 3, you reflect and refine. You take that feedback, you figure out what to change, and you try again. It's a cycle. Push, feedback, refine, repeat. But here's a fascinating layer to all this. How you do that loop isn't one size fits all. It's actually shaped by your deep down natural tendencies. And this brings us to the idea of your performance archetype, your subconscious style of getting things done. You know, the great psychologist Carl Jung nailed it when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And that's exactly what this is about. Understanding your archetype is like turning on the lights in a room. You can finally see the patterns that have been running the show, and you can start to work with them instead of just being pushed around by them. So let's see which one of these resonates with you. Are you the ruler, driven by control, order, stability? Your superpower is building flawless systems, but the path to adaptation for you means learning to embrace a little bit of controlled chaos, to experiment. Or maybe you're the creator, just bursting with vision and new ideas. Your gift is seeing what could be, but your challenge is building the routines to actually make those ideas happen. Or hey, maybe you're the sage. You live to understand the truth of things. Your journey is about moving from just thinking and analyzing to actually doing, testing your knowledge out in the real world. Knowing which one you are tells you exactly what you need to practice. And all of this brings us to what is, honestly, the most important point of this entire conversation. This is not about choosing one type of expert over the other. It's about finding a way to balance both worlds. The real goal isn't to become a routine expert or an adaptive expert. Think about it like this. Your efficiency, that pays the bills. It makes you reliable and valuable today. But your adaptation, that's what builds the future. That's what makes you resilient and essential tomorrow. True elite-level mastery is learning how to dance between the two. So I'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. Your routines, they make you reliable, but it's your ability to adapt that will ultimately make you irreplaceable. So when you think about your work, your craft, your skills, which one are you going to deliberately practice tomorrow?